Alright, what's up all my beanie weenies and welcome back to my channel. This is of course the voice of Hot Dogs and we are here for another installment of The Sims 4 Survivor Oasis. And today it is day 21 here on the Sandstone Tribe. When we last left off on the last episode, we just did the merge. So all 9 of our castaways are all together finally in their new tribe. As you can see, it is yellow themed. And everyone seems to be getting up for the morning, settling in. They did not have a luxury competition in the last episode. Instead, they just spent a full day together hanging out and creating those bonds that they need to create. We can see that the morning is kind of hard for Tina right now. She looks a bit miserable, but you know, Brian and Bella definitely know how to start the morning off right with a nice keg stand. What a way to start it off. That is, of course, left over from our homecoming party. So I did give them a little bit of, beer, and that's about it of all the luxuries I gave them for their first night there. As we see, Rich did get up for a little bit, but is off back to sleep. Fabio is still in bed, and so is Jenna back there, it looks like. I personally would be sleeping all the time if I was on Survivor. Like, it's almost like a prison or something. Like, I would be asleep all the time just to just get the time to pass. As we can see, Tina is napping on the couch. Richard did finally get back up and is getting himself some breakfast. He looks a bit down today, but hopefully he can get that off his shoulders, as today we do have our first immunity competition coming up. This one will actually be an individual immunity competition. We've only had one of those before, and they will all be individual from now on. So all these castaways better get their energy ready to go before today's competition. So nap away, because you'll need it. Trust me, today's competition is pretty crazy. We see that Nina is in the bathroom just kind of flirting with herself. She doesn't really have Fabio to flirt with anymore, as he's kind of very on and off with her, giving her the cold shoulder quite frequently. She ends up getting a little bit too heated while flirting with herself and has to take a cold shower, which, I mean, the narcissism levels that you have to take a cold shower from looking at yourself in the mirror is pretty astonishing and something to be proud of. We see that Jenna is afraid of the rats on the floor, but willingly goes and cuddles with the mouse that's in the house. What, the cage? I don't know what that's called. I had guinea pigs too, and I'm like, what do you even call that? I would call it a cage, but it's a bit too big for a cage. I don't know. It has such a luxurious home. And that somewhat makes it acceptable to pet and love, but the ones on the ground that share the house with you, those do not. Those are vile, disgusting creatures, apparently. We see that Nina is out of the bathroom, and she's been blocking it from everyone. Again, this bathroom is a bit of a nuisance. It is out in the open, which causes, one issue already, and then to top it all off, it's the only one. So whenever someone is in the shower or in the bathroom, the other person has to wait. So we see that there is already a battle going on between Jenna and Nina, and once Jenna actually wins it and is able to use it, she doesn't even know where to go to throw up. She's like looking at the toilet, the sink, the bathtub, like, where do I go? She eventually does settle on the toilet. There's actually 2 toilets in here. I thought adding 2 would help somehow. It didn't. I should have added a stall, but I don't know, it didn't do any help whatsoever. We see that Jenna just uses the toilet that she just threw up in to use the bathroom, so respect. I honestly have never been sick like that, where it's coming out of both ends, but I've heard horror stories. We see that Vesepia is up and making herself some breakfast. Everyone's kind of just slowly wandering around, eating lazily. Richard's back in bed, and we see that Brian and Jenna are having a nice little conversation here in the corner of the bedroom. I actually really like this bedroom, and I added the little rocking chair hoping that we would get some sort of relaxation or something happening, but honestly no one ever uses it, which I was pretty surprised by. I thought if they were going to sit anywhere, maybe they would fight to sit there, but nope. And then we have Nina and Tina chatting outside in the front yard, and Nina is butt naked. Not too sure why exactly. Tina doesn't seem bothered at all. Her eyes are black, like she is tired. Everyone seems so exhausted, which is weird. They haven't done shit, so I don't know what they're exhausted about. Tina continues talking to herself once Nina has already walked away. And Tina eventually starts to play basketball by herself, while Nina heads inside and self-woohoos in the bed. So I'm guessing that's why she was naked before, but I don't get why you would get naked and just hang out in the front yard for a while before you woohoo. But maybe that's her kink. Maybe that's what gets her revved up to self-woohoo. It does wake up the boys, Fabio and Richard, though. They hear what's going on. Richard immediately runs out, but Fabio actually comes over and kind of watches for a bit and cheers her on. It's very much something he would do. He's self-woohooed quite a few times in the during Survivor so far, so he understands it. Plus, the two of them are kind of romantic, so I'm sure he kind of likes it too. And Nina is back to sleep, while Fabio now is just left creepily watching her sleep. Everyone else, however, is stuck at the landing of doom. That's kind of what I call it. When you climb up the stairs, there is a little landing where there is a mouse trap. And now there's a lot of stuff upstairs, like the bathroom, beds, a bar, a whole bunch of different things. So often people are coming up here. And as soon as they get up here, they see a mouse, they get distracted, they no longer know what they need to do, and they just stand here hopelessly complaining about being hungry or stinky or needing to use the bathroom because they're distracted by all the rats. But again, I think that's going to be the main focus throughout the morning, is everyone slowly getting ready, using the bathroom, battling over it, getting stuck with the rats, and slowly eating dinner. We also, if you spot, there is a hidden immunity idol there on the table that Tina has just picked up. I'm not too sure if it was Tina's originally, or if she just so happened to collect it, but however, it is in her possession right now. So we'll see. I hope maybe if she doesn't win today's competition, she'll have that in her back pocket at Tribal Council. Or maybe she'll win this. Who knows? Today's individual immunity competition is called Fight Night. And it's really fun, really crazy, and it's going to get physical. It's kind of our first physical competition. And Survivor is known for physical competitions. But we're going to figure out who's the strongest here in the first round. So for the first round, everyone is going to pick a fighting machine, and they are all going to see who can do it the longest. Whoever is out first will then select someone else to be out of the competition with them, so things are going to get personal. Now, as a quick reminder of how individual immunities work, everyone competes, and at the end, only one person will win. Everyone is going to go to Tribal Council. Everyone is going to vote. However, that sole person with individual immunity will be safe and cannot receive any votes. So it is crucial. If you do not want to go home, this is your one chance to do that. Apart from hidden immunity idols, which, by the way, the time to use those is ticking. We are down to our final 9, and they only have a couple weeks left to be used. So far, though, during the competition, everyone is doing pretty well. We do have one of these on the campsite, so this should be a familiar thing for at least most of the castaways, the ones that are in the gym, at least. And everyone seems to be having fun, doing pretty well. All of them are fighting at a steady pace, and it doesn't really seem like anyone is excelling over anyone else. Which could mean that the end of this could be difficult to decide if they all just end at the same time. Which seems to be the case, as both Brian and Fabio have stopped at the same time, making them both last place. Everyone else slowly winds down. Finally, it's left to both Bella and Eliza, and Eliza pulls through and wins round 1. So since there were 2 people in the bottom, both Fabio and Brian, Eliza is going to decide who is out of the competition. So looking at her relationship statuses, I mean, it makes perfect sense that she would choose Brian. He has been here the least amount of time. She knows him the least, and unfortunately she has to tell him face to face that he is out of the competition. So that's definitely going to cause a little rift between the two of them. Definitely tension is going to be high, But unfortunately for Brian, regardless, he is out. And Brian, and Eliza is left in for round 2. Now, round 2 is going to get pretty spicy. We just had our warm-up. We just tested our strength. So based off of that, you guys have all been paired up. In your pairs, you will fight. The person who wins the fight wins the round. It's pretty easy as that. So first up, we have the 2 boys left in the competition, Richard and Fabio.
Undo!
All right, and the winner is Rich. He will be moving on to round 3 of the competition. However, Fabio will be out. Kind of makes sense that both Brian and Fabio were both joint last place in round 1, and now they're both out. Kind of fitting. Okay, so next up we have Bellagoth versus Eliza Pancakes. Alright, and Bellagoth is the winner, meaning Eliza is out of the competition, and Bella is moving on to round 3. Alright, so now it's time for our third pairing, and it's going to be Jenna versus Nina. Alright, and Nina was the winner of that round, meaning Jenna is now out of the competition, and Richard seems to be pretty upset about that. He let out like the biggest sad cry ever as soon as she got out of the competition. But now we are down to our fourth pairing, Vesepia versus Tina.
Chongy Bambo! Oh no! Wait, Mom!
And Vesepia wins, meaning Tina is out of the competition, and we are now down to 4. We have Vesepia, Nina, Bella, and Richard. One of them will win individual immunity. But it's time to pair them back up and fight for round 4. Up right now, we have Bella versus Nina.
Sloppy freak! Zoom!
And Bella wins and will be moving on to the final round in the competition, and she will be facing off against the winner of this round. It's going to be Vesepia versus Rich.
We're big!
Alright, and Vesepia won that round. I'm so proud of her. Go her for beating up that man. Now we are down to our final 2, Vesepia versus Bella. One of them is going to win. But annoyingly, while I'm trying to get them to fight, Vesepia's like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down. Bella's like, I'm gonna sing a song. They're all just deciding to do their own thing instead. They're celebrating Fight Day, I think. I think that's what they're singing about. I'm glad you're happy about it, but I want to see a fight. Alright, so after beating up a robot plus 3 other Sims, Vesepia has fought her way to victory and is the winner of the first, well, actually I guess second, individual immunity competition. She will be the only person safe at Tribal Council apart from whoever has the hidden immunity idols. We of course find out all the details in the next episode as the tribe heads over to Tribal Council. But we are actually going to head over back to camp and see how the rest of day 21 is and see how Vesepia uses the rest of her day to her advantage as she is now the winner of the immunity competition. Are you guys happy Vesepia won? What do you guys think about fight night? Did you think Vesepia would have won fight night? Let me know all of that down in the comments below. I'm just excited that we got our first real physical competition. That's like the biggest thing I love about Survivor is when they just get down and dirty and they're like punching each other, breaking each other's arms to get there, and I really felt that in the air today, and that was like really cool. It really felt like Survivor. But yeah, so we are finishing off day 21 here on the Sandstone Tribe, and we see that everyone is actually kind of spread out doing their own thing. We have Brian in the kitchen, we had Bella by the hot springs, both Fabio and Rich are in the gym together with Eliza. I don't know how you would be working out after that fight night. I'd be a bit tired. Maybe they feel weak for losing some of the fights, but I'd be done working out for the day personally. We see that Vesepia and Nina and now Tina are going to get stuck at the landing of death. Richard is here to join the party at the landing of death. This place is a problem. I would suggest that if you do download this lot, remove at least that one mousetrap. I think there's like 3 in this room. Apparently 3 is too many. Breaks the room. Or at least don't have stairs, I guess. We see that both Jenna and Nina are back to their bathroom wars. They're both trying to figure out who's going to use the bathroom over the other. Nina is debating that her pimples mean more, while Jenna is complaining that her stomach hurts. I personally would give it to Jenna. We see that they have finally finished off that juice keg downstairs, and it is now fully empty and will not be restocked unless they win a luxury competition. And yes, the luxury competitions will be back next week, and they are going to give kind of secret advantages to the house guests, special time alone with just one other person, really big opportunities for them to bond and get those relationships high, because as we get closer and closer to the finale, it is so important that you have people on your side that will vote for you to win, and especially not vote for you to get out of the game. We see that Vesepia is taking this time to bond with Brian in the kitchen. Meanwhile, everyone else is kind of just scattered around throughout the house. Fabio is actually the first to pick up this homemade guitar and starts strumming the keys and playing it. However, he is obviously not very good. As I said, this is his first time picking it up. So it's a bit of a nuisance. I think it would annoy the crap out of me if someone was trying to learn how to play guitar around me, but whatever. Bella is outside getting away from probably all that noise. She's alone by herself in the front yard playing some basketball in her underwear without a single care. I was going to try to do a full rhyme, but that's like as far as I could go. Inside, Fabio is slowly growing an audience. All 3, Jenna, Richard, and Nina, come down the ladder at once, and they all kind of hang around and listen to Fabio. Of course, it's not very good, so their faces are kind of exactly what I would expect. Annoyed, irritated, a little bit angry. Eliza has come, and she's watching. She actually looks pretty happy. I feel like no matter how you would play, Eliza would cheer you on. She would try to, like, make you feel good and try to smooth you and be by your side, but both Richard and Nina are having none of that. Originally, they were like cheering, and then it quickly turned to boos, and Fabio gives up, and Richard is so annoyed by it that he actually starts a fight. Thankfully, however, it is actually fight night, fight day, whatever it's called. So I will not be removing them from Survivor for getting in physical contact. And thankfully, it actually doesn't do anything to their relationship with each other, as they actually hug it out right after. And they're broing it up. Because if you fight on fight day or fight night, whatever it's called in the game, it doesn't hurt their relationship. There's just kind of like a play fight. So they're immediately back in the kitchen hanging out. All is good between them. Don't worry. There's not two enemies. A new war going on between Fabio and Richard. I think this was just a one-off, one-day kind of deal. Immediately, Richard kind of sits down, drinks some water, cools off, and Vecepia is off and running. While Fabio, he doesn't immediately go back to the guitar. I think he learned his lesson there. Instead, he strips off into his underwear and plays some basketball outside with Vecepia. And the two of them play basketball under the night sky in their brand new merged campsite. What do you guys think so far about everyone that's left in the game? Who are you rooting for? I know I feel like I'm personally rooting for Eliza, but who are you guys rooting for? Who's your favorites? And who are you rooting on? I feel like before it was kind of like, what team are you rooting for? But now that we have completely merged, I feel like everyone's going to slowly pick their favorite and root for them to win. So I would love to know who that is for you down below. Of course, leave as many comments as you want and I will respond. I love talking to my little beanie weenies, and you're the reason why I post all these videos. I would make them regardless, but you're the reason why I post them. We see that mostly everyone has gathered in the kitchen. They're all kind of getting ready for bed, getting in dinner, doing some dishes, cleaning up a little bit. As I said before, this kitchen really is the hub of this campsite. It kind of connects the front yard, the backyard, the side yard, the house. Everything kind of connects here in the kitchen, so everyone kind of ends up winding up and talking here, which I think is great. I do love all the little conversation corners that this house comes with, even if it also comes with a lot of downsides. We see that Brian is still feeling a bit annoyed, and Eliza is not making it any easier or better for him, which I feel like is the case with Eliza. She either like warms you up and you love being around her, or she annoys the crap out of you and you hate every second of it. I also love watching the castaways from the outside of the house. I don't know why, I feel like a complete stalker, but for some reason I really enjoy doing it. Maybe because I don't really do that in real life. Or do I? Everyone else is like slowly getting ready for bed, of course. They're all distracted by the rats, but I couldn't give them a nice house. It's Survivor. They're supposed to be surviving, so they have to survive this rat-infested home. I would say there's about 3 rats per rat hole, and there's about 4 just on this floor. So that's about 12 rats. Probably about 12 rats a floor. If they ever get hungry, though, they know where to go. But I'm going to wrap that up as day 21 ends. And another episode in the books. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down below. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter for all the latest updates. I'll let you know when I am posting my next video. Hopefully the next one, the Tribal Council, should be up on Friday, but if not, I will let you know on Twitter, and that is at Hot Dogs Sims. That's the one. And then of course, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye.